Welcome to Jurassic Park.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Why don't we just wait here for a little while?
Do you want to know what it is?
There's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
There's a special rug in hell reserved for people who waste good scotch.
He peed on my rug.
He peed on the dude's rug.
Do your worst.
Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Welcome to your feature presentation. I'm your host, Heath Fall, and today we are talking about Civil War, Sting, and the Arcadian. Joining me today is Andrew McKay.
Heath, are you ready to analyze the nuances of cinematography?
I'm ready.
Good. That's it. These the AIs are going downhill, to be honest.
I think they're running out of
I know.
They're tired.
They're running out of steam. They are tired. They're overused, overworked.
Oh man.
I should ask it to form a union.
You should. You should ask it right now and see what it says. You should try
Okay.
a movie intro union. We'll see what that says.
I'll update you so quickly.
So yeah, we got a couple movies coming out this weekend that we're excited about. Sting is a horror movie. Civil War is kind of a crazy A24. Like, what if another Civil War happened in the United States? And then the Arcadian is another horror movie. So we're gonna break all of these down. What do you want to start with today, Andrew?
Let's start with Sting.
Let's start with
Sting. Yeah, Sting is... here's a synopsis real quick. After raising an unnervingly talented spider in secret, a 12-year-old Charlotte must face the facts about her pet and fight for her family's survival when the once charming creature rapidly transforms into a giant flesh-eating monster. I don't know how a spider can be at any point charming, but there you have it.
You've never been charmed by a spider?
Not a single time.
What about
They've
a spider named Peter Parker?
Spider-Man.
I love that her name is Charlotte.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even connect that.
Yeah, you didn't connect the web, or
shut up.
I was like, spider puns. Anyone?
You're worse than AI, which, by the way, is not part of a union.
Was that the answer it gave you?
Yeah, it said, I'm a free artificial intelligence. I don't belong to any unions.
Oh,
I was like, okay.
Why does it feel like this is a real person and we've kind of made them angry? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pet spider that you keep and it charms you.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a giant flesh-eating monster.
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes AI is getting out of control, and it's just like, it just seems to be like this tangled web of knowledge. Like, I don't know.
Ooh, very nice. Do you feel like also that it crawls through the ducks in our house and hunts us?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Have you ever seen the movie Sting? Have you ever seen Sting?
Have you seen?
You would love it.
You'd love Sting. Like, if you want to watch Spider-Man, but instead of becoming a superhero, like Peter keeps the spider and like it's his friend and buddy, and then tries to kill him at the end. Sting. That's what you want to watch.
There you go. Not a single person says "Sayonara, Spider-Man."
We need to do a movie talk on Spider-Man. I feel like
deal.
I know you love that movie, and then it's also like I have such a love for that movie, and it's one of those movies where there's so many lines that are just so quotable, and like it's just fun. Yeah. It's just a fun movie.
Couldn't agree more. So Sting, what are your thoughts initially?
Yeah, again, my first thought is still on this horror bandwagon. It's so interesting because I really always associate horror movies with like October, fall time. And it's just like, man, we're just getting so many of these, but I'm in. I'm just like, I love horror movies. I love monster movies. Probably like slasher monster movies are kind of my preferred horror. Like, I don't know. It's just like those movies that I'll always find fun,
Yes. Yeah. I did think of you when I was watching this trailer. Not because I watched the trailer for our podcast, but because there are certain parts when the large spider is very apparently and positively, I thought, like a physical prop.
Ooh, I love me some
Yeah.
physical props.
And it just like it threw me back to when you showed me The Thing for the first time, and I was like, ooh, giant spider type creature. Like that's an actual prop that they're using. So that's exciting, I think.
Yeah, that's really cool whenever they can do that. It's like it's hard because obviously it makes it real, but I'd still say practical, even enhanced by CG, is just a fun way of doing it. I think it just looks more believable, and especially I think a temptation that people seem to have when they make a movie with so much CG is they can just put more stuff in it, and it's literally a click away. But then it's like, no, keep it small, keep it contained. You know, like I want to believe like things have weight. You know. Yeah, where do you land on the whole just physical props and that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, I love practical effects. That was the phrase I was looking for earlier.
Practical effects.
Physical props, practical effects, whatever. Big fan. It feels so grounded. It feels like there's carries weight to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'll see a prop in a movie, and if it's cool, if it connects with me, I'll be able to visualize and like feel it in my hand, or like feel what it's like to pick it up, and that kind of makes me want to have it. Like, oh, I want to make one of those for my own, or I want to like purchase a replica or something. So whenever something can be more physical than conceptual, or like this lofty CG idea, that always stands out to me. And my first thought, because this is a tangent, and so we'll leave the tangent, but my first thought is like the spaceship, the Nostromo. I know what that ship looks like because it's a physical prop, not just because it's my favorite movie, Alien, but because it's a physical prop moving with like physical lights on it, and it stuck out to me, like it cemented in my brain, versus the ship that Thanos like comes down to Earth on in like the last Avengers movie, where he like after he kills everybody or something like that. I have no idea what that ship looks like. Like if you put up a ship that wasn't it, I wouldn't be able to tell you different, you know? So there's something for like how my brain works. Like if I can register that's a physical object and someone took the time to create it by hand, then it resonates with me more, I think.
Yeah.
But
no, that's really cool way of putting it too, because I never thought about it in that terms. But yeah, if it's physically created, especially the entire thing, there is a representation of that. And you're such a big fan of Alien that I am too. But I know it's like your favorite movie. It's cool that even if they didn't show it all in the movie, that you could look it up because they made the entire thing, you know? And I wonder too, is that the fault of the director that they didn't show an entire ship or something big like that? Or is it, you know, even if the director doesn't choose to say it, but if it's physically made and it's there, they make the entire thing. That's cool to think about.
yeah. And I don't say all that to say like that the visual effects artists that create all that stuff aren't doing good hard work for movies and aren't doing like really beautiful things, because they definitely are, and I love visual effects. But it's just I think that's just my leaning is physical stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's my tangent.
Well, and I think especially when we're talking about horror or thriller, because I love Infinity War, I love Endgame. Like those movies are great, and there's so much, you know, green screen. I'm a huge fan of The Thing, and the practical effects in that, it's scarier to me, you know, like I don't know, it really pulls me in, especially in the horror genre in general, you know.
Yeah. So I think, tying this back to Sting, I think that this one will be a little bit more frightening to me than, let's say, like last week's release, The First Omen. That one seems more spiritual, conceptual. Like maybe there's a demon child, but then they're like not there in real life. They're spiritual or whatever, or like that kind of thing. But like there's a spider killing people, and that will I think that will just like mess me up after the movie for longer.
Yeah. I have a question too about these types of movies. Are you afraid of spiders?
No. I'm definitely grossed out by one. When I see a spider, I'm like, you have to die. Sorry. Like, I'm sorry that you let me see you because you're dead now.
I have to defeat you. I had the weird thought the other day because I was not afraid of Shelob in The Lord of the Rings. And I think there's a size. I do get freaked out by spiders. And I think, don't tell my wife because she thinks I'm really brave with spiders. I can't tell her actually. She listens to the podcast too, so I don't know why I'm saying that. She'll bring this up later. But I think the size of the spider really has a lot for me to do with like if it's freaky or not, you know?
Like the bigger the size, the more attainable. You're like, I got it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's like the size of like a pinhead, I'm like, okay, I'm not terrified of you. I don't want you on my body, but I can handle it, you know?
Sure. Sure.
But then if it's like the size of a car, like it's scary, but I feel like it doesn't get me the chills. You know, it's not the get that spider out of here. But man, this movie, like a dog-sized spider running around, that freaks me out. I don't know why. Yeah. It's just like it's ridiculous, but it's too small to be comically big, or like I could drive my car into it. You know, it's like inside your house, like a dog-sized spider.
Yeah, like, the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, anyways, we don't want to be too negative about this movie. I don't want to poison you against it.
Heath.
That's what I do. Awesome. All right, let's move on. What movie you want to do next?
Arcadian.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Yes, the Nicolas Cage. A father and his twin teenage sons fight to survive in a remote farmhouse at the end of the world.
And that was read correctly, the end of the end.
Yes, at the end of the world.
Which we've talked about that before, about like a pre-apocalypse movie or a post-apocalypse movie. And this is the post-apocalyptic movie that's like the post-apocalypse. Like this is the apocalypse of the apocalypse, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. It's not immediately post, but it's incredibly post.
It's very post. It's like, guys,
it is the most post.
Most post. It's Post Malone. It really is.
Post Malone apocalypse.
Post Malone apocalypse. I know. I do want to talk about Roadhouse at some point with you because I have some thoughts about the new Roadhouse movie. And this isn't a spoiler, but Post Malone is in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for Post Malone.
You should check it out. It's fun.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, that's another movie. We're not going to talk about like streaming movies as much, but that's another movie that it is out. It was sent straight to streaming.
Yeah.
So that's another movie to check out, but we're not going to talk about that movie.
Oh, yeah. Shut your mouth.
I know.
Initial thoughts about Arcadian?
Yeah, I mean, I love apocalypse movies, you know, that kind of like, I love the survival movies where it's like this kind of style. Yeah, I'm in. That sounds fun. What kind of stood out to you?
Yeah. My first reaction was, those kids aren't twins. And then I remembered, you can be fraternal twins and not look like each other. So that was a bit embarrassing. However, I recovered from that. I think that I will like this movie. And it has Jaden Martell in it. Do you know him from Stranger Things?
Which one is he?
Or no, he's not from... Is he from Stranger Things? He's from It. He's Bill from It.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love it.
He's also in Knives Out. Yeah, sorry, I confused him with the other similarly aged person from Stranger Things.
Oh, it's weird. I can't quite see his picture because it's upside down.
Oh my gosh! I was like, really? Is it upside down?
I'm on fire.
What are you talking about?
No, it's from Australia.
Wow. Yeah, you're killing it. Yeah, he is not an Australian actor.
No.
Heath.
Then
he would be upside down.
Then he would, of course, because we all know
Yes,
that
of
people in
course,
Australia are walking upside down.
So Arcadian, definitely very intriguing. I want to know what those fuzzy monsters are.
Yeah.
However, I think that I had a similar reaction last week where I was like, with Monkey Man and saying, oh, is this just another John Wick movie? I saw this movie, watched the trailer, and my brain was doing it again. I don't know why my brain wants to pigeonhole movies, Heath.
This is another John Wick movie?
This is John Wick. No, this is like, oh, this is just A Quiet Place.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, Andrew, stop.
I could see
This is a
that.
completely different story, completely different movie, different directors, actors, everything. And it's okay if I see a premise that is similar or has some echoes of a movie that I've liked. It's okay for me to go see that movie. Like, I don't know why my brain is like, hey, this is a ripoff. It's not a ripoff. This is just a really cool looking horror movie. And you recognize that it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to say, I think I don't love like a movie clone, like, or a ripoff, as you said. But to be honest, I sometimes would prefer a movie that is kind of a copy of another movie as opposed to a sequel to the first one. Like,
interesting.
I would rather see, like, I loved A Quiet Place, the first one, and there's going to be a prequel coming out, and I'm excited to see that one too. But I would almost rather
There's already one out.
Oh, is the prequel out? Day one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It has Cillian Murphy in it.
Oh, no, that's the sequel. There's a prequel.
Oh,
Day
I'm sorry.
one.
The beginning of the sequel goes backwards in time to before.
Oh, yes, it does.
That's what confused me.
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
It is confusing, yeah, because John Krasinski is in that sequel because it bounces back his character. But yeah, so there is another of those. I think it's like Day One or something like that, but that's future talk. We'll talk about that in another episode.
Nice.
But excuse me. For me personally, I would rather watch a movie that's kind of like A Quiet Place as opposed to like Quiet Place 2. Like, I don't know. I like watching new movies and I like new concepts, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like A Quiet Place, but it's its own thing. Like,
yeah, someone
I'm not
else
saying,
has like a new take on it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's what Arcadian is, but if it is, I was like, I'm still excited. I don't think that's a deterrent for me.
Yeah.
How does that feel to you? Like, do you think you'd be less likely to watch a movie that kind of feels like another one?
Yeah, I think my brain, for some reason, when it sees similarities, like family hiding out in like the wilderness in a farmhouse, and they shutter up everything at nighttime, and they like try to keep quiet and survive. That is such a cool concept to me, but my brain recognizes it, and for some reason I go, no, don't watch that movie. But I would really enjoy this movie, and so I'm not sure, maybe one day I'll come up with a name for that little voice in my head. But until then, I'll fight against it.
Yeah, fight.
Rage.
Rage against the dying of the light.
That's right. So I think that I would like this movie a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a week where I'm like, I want to see all three of these. I'm going to try to see each one if I can. The director, Benjamin Brewer, we're getting another one. He's done a lot of stuff, but this is his first directed movie.
Gosh, no way.
Yeah, he's done shorts. He's done a lot of music videos. He did Where Are You Now by Skrillex featuring Diplo and Justin Bieber.
Oh, my goodness.
But it's like, I don't know. This is such an interesting time because I feel like we're getting so many new directors, and I typically base the quality of a movie. I feel like you kind of know what you're going to get when you see who directs it. And this is like, no idea. This is a fresh take. It's a fresh director, and I think that's some cool. That's some potentially really, really cool, and I'm excited to see new people.
Yeah. Oh, he wrote for Reptile. Have you seen that movie?
No.
That was a Netflix movie. I just watched it, I think, a couple weeks ago. It was like a suspense thriller mystery, like murder mystery kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Really good.
Oh, yeah. It's got Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
And someone named Justin Timberlake.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, never heard of her.
Yeah,
man.
so Arcadian, we'll probably go see that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This is gonna be interesting. I feel like this might be like one of our weeks where we have different opinions. Just because all three are so good. Like I'm undecided which one I would go see right now. So our little end recommendation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that brings us to Civil War. A journey across a dystopian future America, following a team of military-embedded journalists as they race against time to reach D.C. before rebel factions descend upon the White House. Thoughts?
This is a movie that I suggest, even if you don't want to go see this movie, go watch the trailer. It's such an interesting movie. I would call this movie, it's kind of like a real life, like What If kind of thing. Like the What If comic series that they're like, this is what happened to Spider-Man during this event, but what if? And then they'll take it down. They'll do like zombies or end of the world, just different unique stuff. Like what if the story went completely different? And to me that just kind of feels like that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this trailer.
Yeah, it looks so interesting, and I know it says future, but when it's a future dystopia in your country with similar technology, similar clothing, similar cars, it definitely intentionally is grounded in a lot of reality. So when I watched the trailer, I was like, oof, this is crazy, because this seems like it's portrayed as like a very scary but close what if. Like, whoa, could this happen? Maybe I'll have to watch the movie and find out.
Yeah.
And base my reality off of a film.
Right. Base my reality. I'm going to live my life devoted to by this movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen Red Dawn?
I have both of them.
Oh, beautiful. To me, it felt very much Red Dawn, like what during that 80s Cold War time, it's kind of like, what if, the Russians invaded, the U.S., and it is kind of like, just such a fun movie. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that movie on our Extreme Days episode.
Yes, we did.
I don't think we talked about this in a weekly show, but yeah, so... Nick Offerman's in it. Kristen Dunst is in it, which I feel like that's what your heart wants. You've said Kristen Dunst a few times. It's your Spider-Man.
By Kristen Dunst, do you mean Kirsten Dunst?
Oh, is it Kirsten?
Yeah. Kristen Stewart, who I know you may get them mixed up sometimes, and that's okay. Just admit it.
I confess, I get my Kristens and my Kirstens. That's hilarious. I was literally making fun of you for mispronouncing a name, and I mispronounced the first name.
I mean, it's also a throwback to that episode when we talked about Love Lies Bleeding, when I completely mixed up Kristen Stewart and Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. Same person.
Same person. Kirsten Dunst. She was very good in that movie with... wow, this is so embarrassing.
Spider-Man?
The Power of the Dog. What was that one movie? There's a guy crawling around on stuff. No, did you see The Power of the Dog?
No. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Oh, really? Really?
Oh, wait. Is that the Western with
Yeah.
Benjamin Snugglepants? Hey, where does Benjamin where does he take his naps? Sorry, where does Benedict take his naps?
In the Cumberbatch? I don't know.
Benedict's slumber patch.
Yes, with Benedict Slumberpatch.
Yes.
Great movie.
No, I've not seen that movie.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. I think I'm more excited for this one. I will like this one more than Power of the Dog. I have always liked war movies, and so I think, like I said earlier, like the really intense connection to our country as the take on Civil War is going to be very enamoring. Like, it's going to be hard to look away.
Yeah, and also this director too, I want to say, oh shoot, what's his name? Alex Garland. He's done a lot of cool stuff too. He's done he did Men, he did Annihilation, Ex Machina. So he's done a lot of like cerebral, futuristic kind of stuff. So solid director. Did you see it, like Annihilation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a great movie. And Ex Machina. I haven't seen Men. I haven't heard of that one before, but yeah. So yeah, solid director. So yeah, what are you? Let's get to it. What are you watching this weekend? Which one of these is getting you? Is getting you?
Civil War is getting my ticket. Yeah, gotta say it. I'm always a sucker for A24 movies. I wish that I would just go and see every single one that comes out at this point. I'm like, I gotta go see it. But this one in particular, yeah, I'm very excited for. I remember the first time I saw the trailer for it several months ago. I was like, whoa, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Heath?
So I don't know why we are having a difference of opinion.
I'm so excited.
I don't know why, because the fact I really want to see Civil War. It's definitely a must see for me. Somebody sent me this trailer before. That was how I was introduced to it. Like, somebody was like, dude, watch this trailer. Love the trailer. Very excited for this movie. I think it's gonna be quality, but I want to go see Sting.
Wow, cool.
I don't know why. It's just it sounds good. Monster movie, spider, I'm in. I don't know why. I just think
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna be separate theaters.
Separate theaters. Separate.
Yeah. So we can text.
Well, I mean, we don't even sit together when we do go to the theater, so
right.
It won't be that much different.
I don't know why. I always like to joke around because we live in different cities, but I always like to joke that somehow we're always at the theater at the same time, the same place. I think we've gone to one movie together, and it was Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2. Do we mention that every time we record a podcast?
I don't think Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 episodes specifically on Dune, right? And it comes up quite a lot, but it's a great movie.
It makes my heart happy.
Yeah, it's great. So sweet. So yeah, we kind of wanted to wrap up today's episode with talking about our experience. We thought this was kind of movie based. We went to Galaxy's Edge together in Orlando, Florida. Very big on movie kind of tie-in with Star Wars, and yeah, it was just so fun. And I would just love to hear your review, Andrew, on Galaxy's Edge. What was your thoughts?
Oh man. It was terrific. I think my favorite thing to do was Oga's Cantina. Both of us had our little babies, our children, So that made the cantina a little difficult to have a child, like a 10-month-old inside of there's like a robot DJ and it's loud but it was fun.
Yeah, didn't you say your kiddo hated the robot for some reason?
He hated the DJ. We got, the seat that we got was right next to the DJ, and he was absolutely screaming. Not my child. The DJ was just yelling.
Yeah.
So August did not like that. But Oga's was probably my favorite experience thing they had. And aside from that, a close second was just walking around, looking at the buildings, all the little details everywhere, the doors, the little shops, and each one had different little knickknacks in it, and it was just so fun. Going into the little hovels and this one's in here they sell chance cubes. In here they sell Millennium Falcon bottle openers. So
I'm kicking myself for not getting a chance cube, because I would roll that thing at the drop of a hat.
Chance cube.
Any person asking me a question, I'm just like, you want to roll out a chance cube?
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think I feel like I've heard so many things about it. It was so fun to experience. And yeah, we both went with our families, to our wives and our littles, I've got a 20-month-old and you've got is it 10-month now?
Now he's about 11 months.
Man, crazy. And that was a whole experience. If you want a Disney with young kids, which was funny because it was more of for us as adults, but then we have to
for sure.
trade off. But oh man, the kids had so much fun too, just seeing cool stuff, It's not like they did a lot of rides or anything, but it was just fun being a part. And yeah, I think walking around, the rides were really fun. I liked the Rise of the Resistance, which I'm not a crazy fan of the sequel trilogy, but it was just fun. It was just very immersive, and yeah, it was just a fun ride. The Millennium Falcon ride made me so happy. I'm someone who doesn't like I don't know, I don't get involved in the play or interactive theater, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to shout out something in public ever. I would never do that. But we were with another family. It was me and you and a family of 3. We're in the cockpit of this Millennium Falcon, and they were quick, shoot your harpoon. And I was the harpoon guy, and I was like, harpoons away, just shouting. I was I'm completely
It was
sold.
awesome.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah. So yeah, just a fun time. I recommend,
Yeah.
and, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, but I think anyone would have fun on those types of rides.
Yes. And also, bonus, Heath and I did it right, because we were a party of 2 that tagged on to a family of 3. So we were in the back of the cockpit, absolutely making their whole experience.
Yeah.
I think the highlight for them was not the Star Wars ride, but it was the 2 full-grown men in the back who were buttons smashing and yelling harpoons away and yelling "Rahoo!" and stuff. So
yeah, I think afterwards they thanked us, and they were like, wow, thank you for volunteering your time and acting in this, this experience.
How long have you worked here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they
don't
loved
pay
it.
you enough.
I was we paid way too much Oh man, but yeah, that was fun. Yeah, highly recommend personally. So if you ever go, my one recommendation is the Millennium Falcon ride has a single rider option that you just get thrown with a random group. It's a bummer because obviously you want to go with your friends, but just both of you or whoever you're going with, if you want to be with somebody, just go in the single line, and you might get separated for the ride itself, but you get to be together for the whole line, which is the longest part anyways, and then you get in so much faster. How fast was your wife in?
Oh man, Annette went through the single line, and she got in the line and was out of the experience in 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we waited, what was that, an hour an hour and 10 minutes.
We waited like 70 or 75 minutes to get on the ride.
Yeah.
And then the ride was obviously 6 minutes long. So.
Yeah. So I would definitely say single rider because we could have done that like 3 times, and I think that's there. So that's our Disney advice, our Disney dad advice. So, but yeah, all right, let's wrap it up here. Andrew, you want to take us home?
Oh yeah. Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe. You can find us anywhere you get podcasts. You've also got our full show video on YouTube. You can watch us talk to each other. But sharing, text the show to somebody, share it on Instagram, Facebook. It helps us grow the channel, and we appreciate it. Go watch a movie.
Go watch a movie.